The legend of the House of Valerius begins not with a conquest, but with a discovery in the deep freezing veins of the Iron Reach Mountains. There, miners unearthed Aethel-Silver, a shifting, iridescent metal that hummed with a low-frequency vibration and possessed a luster that made gold look like dull lead. It was more than a currency. It was a miracle of physics, capable of conducting heat without melting and glowing with an internal violet light. The discovery instantly turned the impoverished Valerius kingdom into the wealthiest empire in the known world. They traded small slivers of the metal for entire provinces, building a capital of white marble and violet glass. Yet, the wealth came with a silent, molecular price. The metal was not merely rare, it was sentiently toxic, the very bloodline that claimed it. The curse manifested during the Great Refinement. King Valerius I commissioned a crown of pure Aethel-Silver, a jagged, beautiful halo that seemed to breathe against his brow. On the eve of his coronation, he collapsed, his veins turning a translucent purple before his heart simply stopped. The court physicians called it a fluke, a sudden malady of the humors. But when his eldest daughter, a vibrant girl of 20, donned the same crown for her emergency ascension, she didn't even make it to the altar. Her lungs seized as if filled with liquid metal. By the time the third heir, a distant cousin, touched the scepter and withered into a gray husk within hours, the truth was undeniable. The treasure that had built their empire was systematically hunting its rulers. Despite the mounting pile of royal corpses, the House of Valerius refused to relinquish the throne or the mines. To the Valerius mind, the wealth was worth the extinction of the lineage. They transitioned into a state of perpetual mourning. The kingdom became a factory of succession, a grim conveyor-belt monarchy where heirs were bred like prize cattle, raised in isolation, and rushed toward the throne the moment their predecessor fell. For 200 years, coronations became the kingdom's primary industry. Each ceremony was a lavish, terrifying funeral in advance. The uncrowned kings would spend their few minutes of rule signing massive trade deals and expansionist decrees with trembling hands, their skin already beginning to glow with that fatal violet hue. The cycle reached its grotesque zenith with Prince Caelum, the last of the direct line. By this time, the palace had become a mausoleum of Aethel-Silver, every wall and floorboard infused with metal's dust. Caelum was crowned in a pressurized glass chamber, a desperate attempt to shield him from the breath of the treasure. As the crown lowered onto his head, he looked out at a court of nobles who were billionaires in rags, their wealth infinite, but their lives hollowed out by the constant stench of royal rot. Caelum did not die immediately. Instead, he began to fuse with the throne itself, his flesh slowly crystallizing into the very metal that had killed his ancestors. He became a living statue, a permanent, silent king who could never die and never truly rule, presiding over a kingdom that had finally realized that their greatest treasure was actually their tomb.